What is going on, guys? Today we're going to be talking about the SCULK sensor, which will be coming to Minecraft in 1.17. So this isn't officially out yet. This is actually from a mod created by a YouTuber named Opusec. I'll link him down in the description below so you can see where to check it out and also the crazy cool contraptions that he's made with it so far. There's a lot of really fun things you can do with it, and today we'll be going over 10 things that I had a lot of fun doing with it. So first up, we have Piston Doors. Now, what's really cool about this is the hidden door potential for this block is insane. The only problem is if another player or a mob walks anywhere close to it, it's going to open up your doors. But still pretty cool, and if you have a mob-free area, then this is definitely something you'll want to use. So we'll just land right here, and as I walk towards these blocks right here, it'll open up just like that. And this is just insanely fun to play around with. It's definitely better coming from this side. It's faster, and that's just because I have the sensor on this side. And in this mod, it has like a 5-block radius, and definitely really fun to play around with. I created 2 different versions of the door. This one doesn't have the bottom ones and it pulls down to open the door. And this is simply just for, if you have a hidden door where you can't have the double piston, then you can do it like this. So as you can see with this wall right here, it looks like a normal mountain, and I didn't put the bottom blocks right there just so you could see what exactly I'm talking about with that door. So as you walk towards it, opens up, comes from the bottom and the sides on top. And this is super useful if you're just trying to hide your door better, and it looks pretty cool just as they pull up and down from the bottom. I just like the look of it, really. So next up, we still have a door idea, but it's not exactly to open the doors. This is something you can do just to kind of prank your friends, and it's really fun to do and super annoying if it gets done to you. So as you can see, they're open and they appear like they're open, but as soon as you start walking towards it, they shut. Now, if you're playing in a game with your friends, this would be super annoying and would totally get on my nerves. So I thought it'd be a fun idea to create this. Just closes every time. And then if you run through it at the right time, you'll get it. But the likelihood of that happening is pretty small. So I'll show you guys how I did it right here. Basically, it's just a SCULK sensor and then redstone torches. So because redstone torches have to be activated for the doors to be open like that, you can just put redstone torches underneath and then hook up the SCULK sensor so it shuts off the torches. And it'd be a really fun prank to do if you're in a realm world or a multiplayer server with friends. Next up, we have this little box I made, and it's just a light system. That's all it is. I thought it'd be kind of interesting, possibly for like your netherwort farm or something like that, because the netherworts, they have to grow in the dark, but when you go in to harvest them, you might want the light to come on. So if you put a SCULK sensor inside that nether farm or inside of any building you want, really, then it'd be a cool way to do it. Next up, we have another kind of hidden door, and it's literally just 2 pistons on the back, and as you walk towards it, it pulls it back and you can fall right down. Out of the world. Next up, we have an Elytra launching system or a trampoline, just however you want to use it. You run and it launches you up into the air. No need for any pressure plates or anything like that. It just detects your movement and launches you up in the air. Definitely a fun little thing to do. Then over here is we have one of our first traps, and this is really super simple. I ducked underneath there, but it's just a dispenser, and you hook up the SCULK sensor and you put it somewhere more hidden than in the wall right in front of you. Then you can launch, potions, flame charges, arrows, whatever you want out of it. So here we have a redstone clock, but it's hooked up to a SCULK sensor. So this would be really useful for, if you're trying to detect movement to send out redstone signals. You can also, if you have a button nearby, Every time you click it, it sends a signal. And this is for some reason if you need a wireless setup or if you just want to detect the movement of a player or entity. I've used these types of clocks at the top of my mob farms, so it does have potential for mob farms, although not sure exactly how you would use it. But in any case, if you need a redstone clock and you want to hook it up to any entity movement, this is the way to go. And then next up we have an actual mob farm setup. So if you've ever created so if you've ever watched Hermitcraft or SciCraft or any of those servers, or if you've ever just built mob farms before, you'll know that this is a very common setup to have a 7-block radius out from a dispenser with water in it. And usually it's on a redstone timer like the one I showed back over there. But if for some reason, if you wanted to hook it up to when entities actually spawn and when they start walking around, then you can just set this up, and as soon as something starts moving, it'll output water and push everything off the edge. The final thing we have is something I just thought would be cool. It's a hallway, and if you've ever seen in like a movie or maybe you've been in a hallway where as you walk the lights turn on, I just thought it'd be a really cool idea, and it's now very easy to do with the SCULK sensors. They just turn on. They didn't even complete the hallway, but they just turn on as you walk. Doesn't really work as well this way. Just because if you look at the top, it's just a SCULK sensor on this side. So it's really to detect player movement if you're coming from that way. And I wanted to kind of lead the lights a little bit so they came on a bit earlier. But if you wanted it to detect all movement, all you have to do is put the SCULK sensor closer or directly on top of the light, and it will still work that way. So all of these are obviously preliminary designs because it's not an actual snapshot. It is from a modder, but definitely some ideas for things that you will be able to do with the block when it is released. And as soon as snapshots with this block are starting to be released, which will hopefully be towards the end of this year, beginning of next, after 1.16.4 comes out, it'll definitely be fun to play around with these, and I'll do some videos on there with some better designs as soon as we have more official ideas. So far, as I've been playing around with this mod, which I'll link down in the description, it doesn't seem to be affected by wool, which I know in the actual version, wool should stop these sounds from getting near it. But so far as I played with it, wool doesn't seem to stop sound. And I don't know if that's just on my end or that's a thing with the mod in general, but I guess we'll find out more when snapshots are released. So, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video and maybe got some ideas of your own to do with the new SCULK sensors that are going to be coming out in the summer of next year. If you guys like this video, be sure to subscribe and leave a like, and I'll see you next time.